Welcome again to Metal Weekly, the series where we bring you some of the latest releases you may have missed from a previous week. So today we have a mixed bag for you. We got some death, we got some doom, and a healthy splash of black in between. So it's going to be a fun one. So sit back, relax, and let me tell you about some of the albums you should check out. So first up is Unreqvited with Empathica. It's on Northern Silence Productions. Let's give it a listen. So we're starting off with black metal, and this is the very dreamlike, very atmospheric kind of black metal you'd kind of see on like an Alcest kind of record. It's that kind of black gaze kind of sound to this album, and I love that sound. I love that sound. It's very peaceful, very relaxing. Even though there's harsh vocals, it's not in your face, it's kind of in the background. And it just has loads of symphonic parts, loads of just melodic sections, and it's just an amazing listen. But yeah, like a beautiful dreamlike soundscapes this music produces. Love this album from start to finish, and you know, from the artwork it looks kind of like Drowned's artwork from a couple of months ago. You know you're in for like just a dreamlike album, and that's what you get, and I love it. It's good to just put something on and relax, and this is the album for that. Definitely check this out if any of that tickles your fancy. Next up we have Paradise Lost, probably the album that you're here for. The big doom metal release from these legends. They just released Obsidian on Nuclear Blast, so let's take a listen.
As we fall from grace, and we touch death's hand too soon.
So you've probably heard it from now by all the different reviewers giving it really fucking high scores. It's a great album. It's probably one of Paradise Lost's best albums. It incorporates all the different sounds they've had throughout the years, all on this one disc. Back from like Lost Paradise and all those kind of earlier albums, like the midder albums, and more like Medusa. It has all those different sounds in this album. And you know, when it starts off, the very first song of this album just has everything in it as well, and it blows you away. It starts off acoustically, clean singing, and then it gets heavy, and then there's like solos and stuff near the end. Oh, fantastic. Every song on this album is masterful. Doom metal at its best. Probably one of the better albums to check out from previous week. So yeah, definitely give Paradise Lost Obsidian a listen, because it's well worth your time. Next up, we got some death metal for you. Some strange death metal. Voodoo Gods and the Divinity of Blood. And it's on Reaper Entertainment. Check it out. Now, this is a strange one. I just checked this out randomly, and I was like, wait a second, is that fucking Corpse Grinder on the vocals? It is! One of my favourite vocalists in death metal, Corpse Grinder from Cannibal Corpse, does the vocals on this. It's so good. But it's not just another cookie cutter death metal band, like a copy and paste of Cannibal Corpse. This is more like a Gore Guts. This is like a technical death metal album. It's not just genty death metal like a lot of technical death metal is. This feels like Dream Theater mixed with Cannibal Corpse. It has beautiful solos, so many strange sections, and it's probably the best way I can describe it. It's Dream Theater meets Cannibal Corpse. If you want Dream Theater with death metal, you got your pick, and a splash of Tool as well. And then that's this album. It's really fun from start to finish. All the songs are unique, have a special flair to them. And it just kept me on my toes. I didn't know what to expect, and it just floored me. Really fun album. If you want a fun fucking album, give Voodoo Gods a listen, because it's wild. Next up we have Ruadh, I think I said that right, The Rock of the Clyde. And again, this one's on Northern Silence Productions, so check it out. Black metal, and this is again atmospheric, but it's a different kind. It's not black gaze, it's not dreamlike, it's more on the side of Seol, like a folky kind of atmospheric black metal. There was another album, another band, Horns, which released one which is similar, but I think I prefer this one, so I'm going to talk about this one. This was much anticipated. I heard one of these songs months ago, and it was fantastic, and this album definitely delivered. It's got the folk elements, it's got the black metal, amazing screaming, it's got atmospheric parts. All the songs are like 10 minutes, pretty much. All you can ask for in a lengthy Scottish black metal band. Folky, fucking awesome. Love anything like this. Love anything like this. So this is going high in my recommendations. Next up, AFSKY, with a title that I'm not going to try and pronounce, because I don't know how to fucking pronounce it, so I'll put it on the screen. And it's on Vendetta Records. Now this may be one of the best black metal releases of the year. It's up there with Odraza for me. It's a lot more aggressive and a lot more emotional than some of the other ones that I mentioned. The other ones are fucking fantastic as well, but this one just has that emotion which you can see in the album cover. Like, that's the emotion that comes through in some of these songs, through the singing. But it's like heart-wrenchingly black metal screaming. You know, it's terrifying, but it's also beautiful. It's not just like super heavy, the melodies are there as well. And the album art is just fucking fantastic. Can't say much more about this album. Really loved it. One of the best of the year. And, you know, I'm not going to give out scores because people will start like smashing their head into the keyboards, but it's a good fucking album. So give it a listen. Next up, back to death metal, but with more technical kind of death metal, this one. Patrons of the Rotting Gate, Bathed in Ash, on the Suburb of Solitude Records. Let's listen. Yeah, this death metal is a lot different to Voodoo Gods. This death metal is not like super brutal. It's more kind of dissonant. It's more like Ulcerate, which technically I'm wearing the fucking shirt from last month. It's kind of like Ulcerate. So if you love that album, you'll probably like this one. Very chaotic, very dissonant, awesome as fuck vocals, but it's just, the drumming is insane. All the different passages are insane. If you love stuff like Ulcerate, Deathspell, any of that kind of chaotic sounding death metal, then you'll love it. I got flack for kept calling Ulcerate black metal, but it sounded kind of blackish, but it is death metal, and so is this. If any of that sounds fucking good, you'll probably love it. I love all the different sounds on this album. Really took me by surprise, really one of the best from last week, so give it a listen. And finally, some doom ending on a doomy note, with In the Company of Serpents, Lux, out independently, so take a listen. So yeah, we're going to finish on some doom, some nice relaxing doom for you here, but this is more on the sludgier, stonery doom kind of sound without having the stoner doom lyrics, you know? So it's kind of like a mix between like a High on Fire kind of mixed, or Asleep mixed with like Drown. It feels kind of that kind of sound because it's really relaxing. It's not super fuzzy, you know, it doesn't have that super fuzzy sound as a lot of the stoner doom bands do, because I don't think this is stoner doom. I think it's just sludge, but it has that kind of atmosphere without that kind of sound, if you know what I mean. Sludgy, it's spacey, the vocals are really fucking cool, there's kind of trippy passages in it, and yeah, it's just a nice relaxing time. One of the nicer doom albums, a lot different to Paradise Lost, so if Paradise Lost isn't your kind of doom, then this one has you covered. You know, you got two different bases to go to. You like more relaxing, sludgy doom, this has got you covered. You want more kind of gothic-y, death-ish doom, then Paradise Lost has you covered. So, good week for metal. I think good week, good selection. There's been a lot this week. I haven't even mentioned Asking Alexandria, and I won't. So, there's been a lot of good albums, and hopefully you find something you enjoy. So that does it for another episode of Metal Weekly. Hopefully you found some albums to enjoy. Let me know in the comments your favourites from last week. Let me know, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.